Hey everyone, what's up? Got a bowl here. I'm gonna go see if I can find some peas. Apparently we have some peas ready. Oh my goodness, the weeds are terrible in here. Alright, so we got a few in here, but most of them still aren't actually ready yet. Everything looks really good. Minus the weeds. Hey, good morning everyone. Happy Monday. Sorry I didn't feel like vlogging at all extra yesterday. And actually, I just wanted to show you guys, I ended up going through my schedule and marking out all of the classes that I'm going to be taking, at least in the first few weeks. I haven't gotten my full schedule yet, but I was told start of August. I hopefully will get that. So one of the things I did was went through the schedule and matched it up to like the courses so that I know what I'm kind of going to be taking every day. One of the things you'll probably hear me say a lot is this is really strange, and it's because when I was in university, I would actually like have a very consistent schedule. So Monday, Wednesday, Fridays were the same, minus labs. So labs were only once a week, and it was basically like an extra class because they were 3 hours usually. And then Tuesday, Thursdays were also the same, but classes were an hour and a half, so that you could get away with only having 3 hours of lecture a week, because you would have 3 hours of lecture in every class a week. And then some people would take like evening classes or whatever, and usually those were like a 3-hour lecture. In at least the schedule that I've gotten, if this stays the same, it's going to be really strange. I'm gonna kind of show this. So this is like the first week, and you see how I marked it there. So the reason why this is so strange is there's no real consistency to the class scheduling. So the first little bit, we get away with getting some of our like really short classes out of the way. So that's like the med terminology, and then there's a math class that's kind of like a bit of a review from the basic stuff with like fractions and stuff like that. This is so strange to me because number one, we've got a couple of times, or a lot of times, where there's like 2 hours of lecture of the same class. It's also not consistent between day to day. So like sometimes we've got a certain class and then we won't have it again for a little bit, and it's really strange. It's just a very weird schedule compared to what I had in university. So this is going to be quite interesting actually. And even like, so for as long as I can remember, actually, even grade 5, 6, maybe even grade 4, like upper level elementary school. So like in elementary school, in our classes, we had like day 1 through 6, so it kind of determined the class schedule. Before that, you didn't really follow that all that much, and it's because they were preparing you for what was junior high at the time, so middle school basically. And like middle school had the same type of day 1 to 6 kind of thing. In high school, I only had day 1 and day 2 that would alternate, but the classes stayed the same, whether like between day 1 and day 2 basically. So there wasn't this all over the place. Like this I haven't had in my scheduling since like elementary school, where you've kind of got a weird class schedule. It's fine. It's not like you're having to try and remember every day when you go to campus where you're supposed to be, because this is online for me for this part. So you just got to click on the Zoom link to know you're in the right spot. We get into some of the things that I didn't think we'd get into right away. So like there's a first week, I think, on here, there was a pharmacy agreements. Yeah, like the first class is like a pharmacy agreements type of thing, which is like almost probably like an introduction to the legislature. I don't know. It's kind of strange. And then obviously we get into like microbiology and med terminology, because med terminology actually, like, it's done by mid-September. I'm curious to see actually when I get the full semester, number one, if anything's going to change, because I fully expect it might. But number two, just the differences in the schedule day to day. Like, I'm going to have to mark it so that I know which class that I'm going to have, which I've already done for the first few weeks. But then that last week is kind of, I feel like, is up in the air a little bit. I know that this school is particularly different. You just hear that from other people. It's so different compared to university. And actually, there's a lot of people now that go to university, come back and go to tech school because it's like you get basically trained for the job that you're looking at. Like they're important jobs and they're often in demand. And oftentimes when I was in university, I would be done by, sometimes even lunchtime. I wouldn't have usually more than 3 classes in a day. And if it started at 8:30, I was often done before lunch, at least for actually in class. But then you had the time where you pretty much had to spend the rest of the day studying in order to keep up with the lectures, especially in my program that I took biochemistry, and it was basically like they were setting you up for medicine. So they really did that, and then you had assignments and all of that as well, and then sometimes you had to prepare for lab. So I actually haven't had a lab class since my 3rd year of university, because in the biochemistry program at the time, they were doing it so that they were preparing you basically for doing research in your 4th year, if that was something you're interested in. And for those who do the honors program, they actually are required to work with a lab as part of that. I've got a bunch of different energy flowing through my body basically right now, and it's still a little bit of these energetics, but a lot of it is just quite a bit of excitement actually as I look on to this next thing. And it's, what are we at here? What does my countdown say? We are at 45 days, which is crazy. 1 month, 13 days, 23 hours, and 14 minutes. That's absolutely crazy. So basically like a month and a half, pretty much exactly. That is absolutely wild. And I actually have it counting down to 8 a.m., which is when I actually start classes. Hey everyone, just getting ready to do a workout here. I just thought I'd say hi. So I worked all day today. Nothing really new or different. I'm just gonna basically probably just close out my rings. I'm at about 7 minutes for exercise and 280 calories, so I obviously must not get my heart rate up high enough anymore to actually count as exercise when I'm walking. So that's unfortunate, but that's just the way it is. Let's just get to it and I'll see you in a little bit. Bye for now. Alright everyone, I had to switch to my camera on my phone because the camera I was doing the time lapse on was about to die. I didn't realize it hadn't been charged. I thought I charged it the other day, but apparently maybe not all the way. Either that or I killed it the other day when I was filming. I hope you kind of enjoyed getting a look at what my workout looks like. I basically use this as party time plus workout. I try and do this right now about a couple of times a week. Sometimes it works out, sometimes it doesn't. I don't really plan my workouts because I can be feeling fine at like 8:30, 9 o'clock in the morning when I go to work often, and then by the end of the day, I'm just drained. It depends on the day. So it's more about when it gets to the time, I usually around 7:30 at night, which is usually when I do the workouts. I just kind of gauge and go and take a question, an inner question basically. How am I feeling right now? Am I okay to go and do this workout basically? And tonight the answer was yes. So I don't know. I'm hoping to get in another one on Thursday, but if not, probably Sunday again. So yeah, that's basically what I do. It's like an in the moment kind of decision because I never know how I'm going to be feeling, if I'm going to be feeling well enough. And then there are times during the month, like when I have my period and all of that, where it's never a go because I'm usually in a lot of pain and extremely fatigued. I'm actually not too bad with the pain the last couple of months. It has its moments. It's been the fatigue. And it's like as soon as I go to exert myself over like too much above like what I would do at work, like even at work I tend to even slow down a little bit. So like I always say my brain isn't working today, usually is how I say to that. So that's generally my cue to like, I'm not feeling that great, but you do what you can and you hope that you can get through it, basically. Anyways, that's what's up, and I hope to see you guys in the next segment. Hey, good morning, everyone, and happy Thursday. I didn't feel like vlogging yesterday. I had a short day and I just kind of wanted to relax when I got home from work. I just wanted to come on here and just talk about the way I'm feeling, basically. As of today, I'm at 42 days, and during my meditation this morning, I was really feeling the different flow and energy and just all of this. I don't even know how to describe this. Like I've said before, my mind tries to label it as a bunch of different emotions. It's different because it's an energetic type of thing. So there's like, it feels different than what I'm used to. So like, I can feel when I have bouts of nervousness, or I can feel when I have bouts of this energetics, but it's so hard to describe now. Like, so hard to describe. I don't even really know how to describe it. It's so weird too, because like, I can feel it right now. When I dive into why this is happening, or like really feel into it, it's just like, well, right now there's no real problem, but I can feel that energetics, as if my body and mind are kind of definitely feeling this and all of that. Now, when it comes to like different things about why I might be nervous and all of that, so number one, it's always a big transition to be going from something you're fairly comfortable with to something that you don't really know what you're getting yourself into, which I do feel that in a little bit of ways, in a variety of different reasons. I was nervous when I went to university, but a lot of those nerves and unknowns it would be my first time being away from home for extended periods of time. I was moving to a place that is about 3.5 hours from home, which I will be going back to eventually for this, but it's not as long because it's a diploma program, it's not a degree. It's different because I can feel those sensations. There's not really an underlying moment in the now about why those sensations are arising. So it's really interesting to feel and go through this. And like, my body handles this way differently than it used to. Like, I honestly don't really know how I'd be reacting physically to this if I wasn't going through this awakening stuff. It comes and goes, and it's a very neutral space actually right now, but I can feel this underlying energetics just sitting in the body there. So it's really hard to talk about. I do have people asking me a little bit more about everything. There's a month and a bit left, but it really does feel like it's down to weeks now. Like I said, it's very, very hard for me to exactly describe how I'm feeling with this, but I'm hoping that that kind of helps. And I'm sure it's only going to get stronger as the future that's in the future becomes the present moment. I don't know whether it's seeing the dates tick by, talking a little bit more about it openly with people. It's coming up, and it's coming up really fast. But I think I'm gonna end the vlog here for today. Thanks for joining me this week, and I hope to see you next week. Bye, everyone.